And Dr. Holloway and Deacon Reese, in this passage that I've read to your hearing, Jesus now sets his sights on Jerusalem. Several days they would hang him on a cross, and he would cry out, and they would put him in the ground, and 3 days later he would get up. This is his last journey to Jerusalem. And in order to get to Jerusalem, he goes through Jericho. This text does not tell us what happened in Jericho, but the synoptics do tell us while he was going through Jericho, he meets a little short fella by the name of Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus was a publican. He climbed the tree because he heard Jesus was coming by. And Jesus comes and looks up and sees Zacchaeus. Said, brother, come down. I need to buy with you in your house. Zacchaeus come down, invite Jesus to dinner, and his whole family gets saved. It's good when your family gets saved. And so I want to challenge you. Keep praying, keep giving, keep fasting, keep believing that every knucklehead you gave birth to will one day come back to the teachings that you put in them. I still hear I still hear the Bible saying, train up a child in the way they should go, and when they get old and feeble and contrary, God has a way of bringing them back. Isn't that good news to know that the one you birthed, the one you taught, the one you brought to church, the one you brought Sunday school, the one you taught how to pray, isn't it good to know that it really doesn't matter how far away they go, if you put it in them, some point or another God will stir it up, and what's in them will come out of them. That's good news. Y'all ain't got to shout, but I ought to have some parent in here who has a strayward, glory to God, knucklehead child that you've been praying for, but you believe that if it doesn't happen sooner, it's got to happen later. Because I know what I put in you. I know what kind of training you got. I know what the anointing can do, and we are believing. Y'all sit down. And so Jesus now, according to this account, is leaving Jericho. Jericho, that great city called the City of Palms. It was a beautiful city. It had a historical a tremendously spiritual historical background. Jericho was now the city of priests. Beautiful city. And now Jesus is leaving Jericho. And as he leaves Jericho, according to the text, I will exegete it, verse number 29. As he departs from Jericho, glory to God, a great multitude followed him. Let's tiptoe through the text. A great multitude followed him. They followed him. And according to John chapter number 6, Jesus had two kinds of followers. Lord, help your boy. Evangelist number 1, he had some fickle and phony followers. Read John chapter 6, and they left him when the going got rough. They got going. Then he had some faithful followers who he turned around and said unto them, will you go also? And Peter said, Lord, we don't have any place to go but you, because only you have the words to eternal life. And so, and my prayer in 2023 is, Lord, please, you ain't got to eliminate fake and fickle friends in my life. All you got to do is show them to be fake and fickle, and I'll get rid of them myself. Oh, my God, I feel like preaching this morning. You don't have to remove any fickle and phony friend in my life. Just show them to me to be fickle and phony, and I know how to eliminate them, to eradicate them, to unfriend them, to get them off my Facebook page. Y'all ain't got to talk to me. If God identifies them, I'll get rid of them myself. I hadn't even tiptoed through the text. He had some folk following him. Some were fickle and phony. Some were for real. And my prayer in 2023 is, Lord, give me some for real folk. About all you want is for people around you to be 100. Most of us can, Marcus and Rico, deacons, most of us can deal with the truth. Look me in the eye, tell me the truth. I can deal, Carlisle, with the truth. I just can't deal with the lies. Is that enough? He's leaving Jericho and folk following him. Then it brings us to verse number 30, which gives us the first point, the encounter. Lord, help your boy. The encounter. Jesus encounters two men. Ain't making up. Look at that. And behold, two blind men sitting by the wayside, when they heard that Jesus passed by, cried out, saying, have mercy on us, O Lord, thou Son of David. Let's unpack verse 30. Let me tiptoe through the tulips and look at the text and unpack verse 30. There were two men. Everybody say two men. And they had formed, obviously, Evangelist Teresa, a compact that we are in this thing together. I know the devil wants to make you think that ain't nobody going through what you going through, but can I help you today? You ain't the Lone Ranger. Whatever you are going through, somebody in this building is going through the same thing. Now, they may not be handling what you're going through like you'll handle it, but nobody is the Lone Ranger. We all are going through something, and whatever we are going through, somebody else going through the same thing. And when we are going through the same thing, seem like that ought to bring us together. These men hadn't made it up in their mind. Oh my God, my Facebook page just lost it. These men hadn't made it up in their mind. Glory to God. These men hadn't made it up in their mind that we are in this thing together. Check this out. Number one, in this encounter, these men had a common condition. They were blind, and according to the synoptics, they were broke. Blind, broke. Blind, broke. And because they were blind and broke, they were begging. So when we look at their common condition, not only are they blind and broke, but they are also begging. Not only do they have a common condition, but according to the text, they have a common position. Show me in the text, it says they were both sitting by the wayside. Not only did they have a common condition and a common position, but they had a common petition. They cried out to Jesus. You know, when I look at these men and their condition that they had in common, it reminds me to remind you that all of us in here today have something in common. Number one, we were born in sin. Number two, because we were blind, we were born in sin, we were blind. But then not only did we have a common condition, sin, we had a common position, we were separated from him, but we also had a common petition. One day we cried out, Lord, save me. I wish I had about 25 and a half of y'all that will raise your left hand and said, I can agree with the brother Newton that says, amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. I was blind, but now I see. The backdrop, the backdrop, the backdrop, the backdrop. The encounter, they had a common condition, they had a common position, and they had a common petition. These men had come together, glory to God, and I like them, Deacon, I like them, Mary, Ann, and Bunny. I like them because they teach us wonderful lessons about life. They teach us something about having the common condition, the common position, and the common petition. First of all, check this out. Please understand me. Hear me well. Oh my God, they took advantage of temporary help until permanent help arrived. I wish I had about 5.5 of you all that understands that sometimes in life you have to take advantage of temporary help until permanent help comes along. Pastor, please understand. Pastor, please explain that. What do you say? Here's what I'm saying. I'm saying that when you need help, take advantage of the help. But don't get comfortable with being helped in your condition. Look forward not to a hand out, but to a hand up. Talk to me, somebody. But let me slow down and share this with you. Let me slow down and share this with you. Let me slow down and share it with you. God sent me by here to tell you today. God sent me by here to tell you that sometimes people don't need you to give them first a hand up. What they really need is a hand out. I know that goes against your theology. I know that goes against your sociology. But I stopped by to tell somebody today, sometimes your assignment is not to help people up. Your assignment is to help people out. Pastor, what's the difference between helping people up and helping people out? Here it is. Sometimes people need help right now. They don't need you to be telling them how to get a job, how to do an interview. They don't need all that foolishness. My light bill is due today. I don't need to hear anything other than here is the money to pay your light bill. I don't need right now a help up. I need a hand out. Ah, yes, I do. Sometimes your assignment is not to help people up right now, but it's to give them a hand out. All I need from you right now, because I got to go to work at 5. I don't need a lecture on how to get. I need some gas in my car. I don't need a hand up. I need a hand. Here my children hungry, and you want to tell me about how the social services will help me. I don't need to hear that. All I need to hear is here is some money to buy some groceries to feed your children. I need a hand out. Dr. Holloway, I don't need a lecture. I need a hand out. Here I am drowning in the river, and you want to tell me about Jesus. I don't need to know about Jesus now. I need to know that you're going to send me a lifeboat. I need to know you're going to give me a hand. I need to know you're going to pull me out of the water, get me out the water, dry me off. Once you dry me off, you give me some food, and then you tell me about Jesus. I need a hand out. Am I talking to the right crowd? Am I talking because see all of our lives, thank you, all of our lives we've been taught you don't give people a hand out, you give them a hand up. Some of you all ain't in position to give people a hand up, but you are in position to give people a hand out. And when people are in need, check this out, every little bit of due. These fellows took advantage of the help that was available. What am I saying? If you qualify and you need it, get your welfare. But don't get comfortable because one day God gonna make you farewell. If you need your food stamps, get your food stamps. If you need your Section 8, get your Section 8. Because check this out. Oh my God. That crowd that's talking about that they like to criticize poor people for taking advantage of that which is available for them were the first one to get in line for the PPP loan. Y'all ain't got to talk to me. You're a fool if you don't take advantage of that which is temporarily available to you, but don't get comfortable with handouts. I wish I had somebody in here that knows if it had not been for handouts, you never would have gotten a hand up. I wish I had somebody in this building that's been so far down. All you needed, you've been so broke you couldn't pay attention. All you needed was somebody to bless you to pay this bill, my light bill, my gas bill, my water bill, to give me some food, to give me some gas in my car. And now God has moved you from a handout. Until then, God sent you somebody to give you a hand up. Now that God has given you a hand up, now you're reaching down, giving somebody else. Yes, I am. I know it's more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 folk in this building that was so broke you couldn't pay attention. And God sent somebody in your life and that person gave you a hand out, and they didn't judge you. They didn't criticize you. They didn't lecture you. They didn't put your business all over town. They just helped you out. And then when they help you out, God sent somebody else to help you up. And now you know, because I've been there and I did that. You want to know why we just give and keep on giving? Because somebody gave to us. You want to know why we help and keep on helping? Because we've been there and we did that. Y'all ain't got to talk to me in this building, because I know and you know somebody helped you. Thank you, Lord, for sending somebody when I couldn't pay my own bill, that you sent somebody to temporarily help me out. And after they helped me out, then you sent somebody to help me up. What am I trying to tell you? Some of you, God is sending to help out. And others of you, God is sending to help up. And then some of you, God is saying, right now, I want you to help out. But after a while, I'm sending you to help up. Is there anybody in here that's ever been helped out and then helped up, and you forgot to tell God thank you? I believe this is a mighty good place to tell him thank you for sending. Oh my God, y'all ain't helping me here. For sending somebody in my life to help me up and then help me out. If anybody ever helped you up and then helped you out, and you're not too mean and you're not too cold and you ain't too low down and ungrateful, would you get on your feet and give God a praise and give him a praise for sending somebody to help you out, and then sending somebody to help you up. If I'm preaching about you, would you grab your neighbor that you came with by the hand and look him in the eye and say, neighbor, I'm glad that God sent somebody to help me out. I could have been dead. I could have been alone. I could have been in the dark. I could not have had any gas. But thank God, He sent somebody to help me out. And because He sent somebody to help me out, I don't mind. I don't mind. I don't mind. I don't mind. Somebody just shout, I don't mind. Somebody just shout, I don't mind. Somebody just shout, I don't mind. I don't mind. No, I don't. Some of y'all so mean, hateful, and low down. You know you were broke and God bless you. You know you didn't have it to give, but somebody gave it to you. You know if God hadn't sent somebody in your life. Okay, so much for that. Y'all sit down. So much for that. Y'all sit down. Some of you all, God is sending to help out. You can't help them up no way. Because you, it will take everything for you to, help them out. So God said, you help out and let Him help up. I don't know why God make me anchor there. God says you help out. That's your assignment. Let them help up. And after you get more blessed, then you help up and let them help out. Oh my God. I wish I had somebody here that will get there. If you don't, you can't give what you ain't got. Whoa, it's getting. Number one. They took advantage of temporary help until permanent help arrived. I'm still tiptoeing through the two lefts in verse 30 on the encounter. Number two, they took advantage of what they had and didn't complain about what they didn't have. I heard T.D. Jakes say yesterday, he said, too many people are losing what they got, trying to chase what they lost. Boy, Deacon Mr. Wallace, I wish I had somebody in the center to help me. He says, too many people are losing what they have, too busy chasing what they lost. Hook me up with this text in, Pastor. How you going to exegete the table that? Watch this. They couldn't see. They weren't complaining about the fact that I can't see. What they did was they developed their hearing. Y'all gonna miss this. I'm told blind people can hear better than most of us. Why? Because they develop that which they have and don't complain about that which they don't have. You've got to learn how to use what you got. Everything you need to be successful, God put in you. Church problem is we got too many folk trying to be something that they are not. The Bible said the church is a body, Diane, and some of you are the eyes, and some of you are the ears, and some of you are the feet. And the problem is shoes go on feet. eyeglasses go on eyes. But the problem is, too many of you all are feet, and you mad because we ain't putting no eyeglasses on you. I wish I had somebody here to understand. Eyeglasses don't go on feet. Eyeglasses go on eyes. Shoes go on feet. And the church is looking retarded because we are putting eyeglasses on feet and putting shoes on eyes. Preach, Pastor. Retarded. Bumping into stuff because we got shoes on feet. I mean, shoes on eyes. Can't see. Use what you got. Come on, y'all. Okay, see, y'all gonna make me stop right here. Check this out. They were blind, but they could hear. And just be you. Mr. Midfield Park, just be you. Miss Love, just be you. Miss Carlisle, just be you. Because guess what, Candace, Lil Candace, Ronke, and Vernon? Check this out. Can't nobody beat you being you. I ought to have somebody in the back to understand what I'm saying. Can't nobody beat you at being you. You kill yourself trying to be me. Going to the gym every day, working out 2 and 3 times a day. You kill yourself. But I kill myself trying to be you. Check it out. Check it out. I mix a G in the text. Notice what it said. They sat by the wayside, begging. I'm sorry. When they check out. They could hear. Everybody said they could hear. Romans 10:17 says faith cometh by hearing, hearing by the word of God. So hearing ignited their faith. Okay? Now, how did they hear it? I'm glad you asked. Boy, it's getting late. Okay, I'm trying to figure out if I need to keep going, if I need to start right there. Okay, somebody said keep going. Check this out. Check this out. Check this out. They heard. Everybody say they heard. Now, I wanted to know how they hear. I'm nosy, so I wanted to put myself in the text, and I said, how'd they hear? And when I got in the text, I discovered that more than likely they heard somebody say that in Matthew 9, Jesus healed 2 blind men's eyes. And so somebody left it on record that he could heal blinded eyes. I need about 2.5 of y'all to understand that if he did it on record, he'll do it again. If you get sick, look at the record and hear the record say, by his stripes you are healed. If he did it then, he'll do it again. If you're down, and if anybody got it on record that he lift him up, if he did it then, he'll do it when? Do you realize the purpose of your test is to give you a testimony? And the purpose of your testimony is to testify that God can do it. And see, God has been good to some of y'all and y'all ain't told it. You keeping it to yourself. And when you keep it to yourself, he'll find somebody else to bless who gonna tell it. Y'all ain't talking to me. Let me get through. When you keep it to yourself, he will okay. Did he leave it on record that he'll give you peace in a storm? Did he leave it on a record that he'll never leave you nor forsake you? Did he leave it on a record that he'll be money in your pocket? He'll be a doctor on your sick bed. He'll be a lawyer in your courtroom. He'll be a psychologist to regulate your mind. He'll be a sociologist to bring your family together. Did he leave it on record? So if he left it on record, if he did it then, He will do it again. Let me hasten. See if I can exegete this text and move and let you go. Number one on the encounter, the lessons is they took advantage of the temporary help. Number two, they took advantage of what they had and wasn't complaining about what they didn't have. Number three, they took advantage of the opportunity. Check out the text, verse 30. Behold, two blind men sitting by the wayside. I got a problem with that word sitting, but I'm hoping that's culture and not complacency. Because I think it's more culture, but I don't want y'all sitting and getting comfortable in your unfulfilled promises. I don't want you to relax where the devil has you. Because this is not your destiny, it's your layover. And never get comfortable in your layover when your destiny is better than your layover. Look at the text. They were sitting by the wayside, so I'm going to assume that it was culture. When they heard that Jesus passed by, they heard it because somebody told them. Now, notice what they did. They began to cry out. Everybody said they. They were unified in their cry. Check out the prayer. Check out the prayer. Check out the prayer. They took advantage. Check this out. Jesus ain't coming back Jericho. Jesus going to the cross. He's going to die. He's going to hang. He's going to die. They're going to bury him. He's going to raise him. He ain't coming back that way. The reason some of you are not blessed the way you think you ought to be is because you missed opportunities. Because Jesus came by. Somebody told you he was coming by, and you sat there and said, I'll check him the next time, and he ain't came back. Oh, my God, he ain't came back. That's bad English. And he has not come back. Take advantage. Okay. See, they were sitting, begging, broken, blind. Somebody had told them Jesus was a healer. That elevated their expectation. If he ever come this way, I'm going to take advantage of it. And this was their one opportunity to get their eyesight. See, check that. Sometimes you only get one opportunity. Some of you women in your 40s that's watching me about Facebook complaining that you don't have a husband. God sent you 10, but they weren't good enough. You missed your, opportunity. You wanted a perfect man. You wanted a man with no babies. You wanted a man with no baby mama. You wanted a perfect man. And I know, and there are no perfect men. And Tanya Brown got the closest one, the last closest one to perfect about 35 years ago. Give me bump me and see, man. Somebody said, if that's close to perfect, I sure don't want it. Glory to God. Okay, take advantage of your opportunities. Jesus is coming by today, and he's telling you, here I am. Give me some salt. If I did it for them, I'll do it for you. The devil been trying to take this from Facebook folk, but we're going to get it to him. If I did it for them, I do. Oh, check out. I'm still in the encounter. Verse number 30. They cried out. Notice what they cried. I tell you, Brian, don't give me about 5 more minutes. They cried out saying, mercy. When you cry out for mercy, that lets God know you know how dreadful you are and how good he is. See, some of you all think you want justice. But justice is giving me what I deserve. Grace is giving me what I don't deserve. Mercy is withholding from me what I do deserve. So stop asking God, just give me justice. No, say, God, give me mercy. Because David cried out Psalm 51. He said, have mercy upon me. Oh, and sometimes, and you can't even say have mercy. Sometimes you just got to cry out, mercy, Lord. And see, the reason some of y'all can't shout on that is because you don't realize that where you are, God brought you. You don't realize what you have God gave you. You don't realize that you are what you are because God has been merciful to you. Because if God had given you what you deserve, you would have died in that car wreck. If God had given you what you deserve, that reefer that you smoked that was tainted, it would have taken you out. If God had given you what you deserve when you were running and riding and tipping and hiding with that woman husband, she would have blown your brains out. If God had given you what you deserve, somebody shout, thank God I didn't get what I deserve. Thank God for mercy. Somebody just cry out, have mercy, Lord. Somebody cry out in 2023, give me mercy. Lord, I don't want justice, I want mercy. I want you to be merciful to me, oh God, according to your kindness and tender mercy, because I realize I deserve to die. But thank you, God, you let me live. I realize I deserve poverty, but thank you, God, you supplying all of my needs. I realize I ought to be cuckoo for Cocoa Pop. Out of everything I've been through, I realize I should have lost my mind, but because you are merciful, you look beyond my faults and you saw my every need. I should have been somewhere sleeping under a bridge, but because you gave me mercy, I can sleep in my own bed. I can live in my own house. I can enjoy my own heater. And when it's cold, I can enjoy my own heater. And when it's hot, I can enjoy my own air conditioner. Is there anybody in this building that's grateful for God's mercy? Don't you holler, Thomas. Don't you holler one time. I gotta go. Sit down. Okay, let me see if I can get through this position. Now, check this out. Oh my God, it's late. That's just the encounter. Everybody say the encounter. He says, okay, I'm sorry. Let me end here. He says, verse 30, and behold, two blind men sitting by the wayside, when they heard that Jesus, Yeshua, passed by, cried out, saying, have mercy on us. They were together. Oh Lord, the word Lord there is from the tetragrammaton. Tanya says tetragrammaton. I call it tetragrammaton, and those are four capital letters: capital H, capital W. I'm sorry, YHWH, and it's come from. Give me some song from Exodus 3, where God said unto Moses, "I am that I am." It's from the Hebrew verb to be, and it means I am whatever I need for me to be. The Hebrews thought it was so holy that they didn't even, because the Hebrew letters didn't have any vowels, and so they wouldn't even try to pronounce capital Y, capital H, capital W, capital H. They substituted the word in the Septuagint, which is the Greek translation of the Hebrew Bible. They translated it Adonai. And then when they kept translating and transliterating, they came up, they translated it to the word Lord, and it means supreme being. So when they called him Lord, they saying, we recognize you to be God. Elohim, El Shaddai. Lord. Whenever you see the word Lord capitalized, think tetragrammaton. Okay? YHW. And then they Latinized it, and then they start calling it Yahweh. And then they transliterated it, and then they start calling it Yahovah. Because there are no J's in the Hebrew language, so it was really Yahovah. Okay, I won't get too deep. All right, so they called him Lord, and then they called him Son of David, and I'm going to stop there. And how am I going to deal with the next three verses next week? I don't know, but God has a way. Then they called him Son of David. Son of David recognizes him as Messiah. Whenever you see the word Messiah, It means the anointed one that the prophets promised would come and free Israel from bondage and establish his kingdom. Messiah. Messiah is the Hebrew word. And when you bring it over to the Greek language, and even as they translate it once again to the English language, we get the word Christ. So when you see the word Messiah is Hebrew, its equivalent in the Greek would be Christ. In the Greek would be Christus, but we know it in English as Christ. So they were recognizing him for who he is. What's my challenge today as I close? My challenge is take advantage of temporary help until permanent help gets here. My challenge is to know your assignment, to help out, to help up, or to help out, then help up. Number 2, take advantage of what you have and stop complaining about what you don't have. And prepare yourself to take advantage of the opportunities. We'll deal with the rest of this chapter next week. God bless you. I'm through. If you enjoyed the Lord today, give him a hand clap of praise. Not me, but give God some praise.